media sells them. They are pro-women who, the WNBA is not pro-transgender the way the media sells them. They are pro-women who live like men. That is the whole plot.
That's deep. I have never thought about that in my life. But then when you hear it, you're like, oh, I have seen that.
The WNBA is not pro-transgender the way the media sells it. They are pro-women who live like men. That is the whole plot. Cheryl Reeve puts on a Trans Kids Belong shirt. Gabby Williams and the activist class run the same script. And everybody pretends this is about males crashing a women's locker room. It is not. Listen to the people who actually run the culture of that league.
If we have a league that was built on Black women, and we still have a league that is still majority Black women, if Black queer women are not excluding people from shit, then none of us are.
Absolutely.
Y'all following? That was interesting what she just said there. Whitlock gonna have to unpack that. Huh?
Just said the quiet part with the volume all the way up. The league was built on Black women, according to them. It is still majority Black women. And if Black queer women are not excluding people, then none of us are. That is not a sports science argument. That is an identity argument. That is a culture declaring its standard for the entire WNBA. And what is the standard? Look at how the stars actually live. Brittany Garner has talked about wanting her kids to call her pops. Take a listen.
You're about to be a mom.
Pops, 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 pops. Yeah, pops.
That is not a woman defending womanhood. That is a woman claiming the male seat in the house. Kirsten Bell presents Like a Man. The Stud Buds brand is a male identity with a ring light.
Dog, when I found out about that, I was like, why has it got so much traction? And then, here's the thing. It's okay for all things to coexist, but you can't put resistance in place. You can't say, okay, we're going to squish you into this corner. Come into this room, but this is the corner you must sit in. So think about it, and I've heard this a lot. The heterosexual female who, got a husband at home, got two itty bitties, and she playing in the WNBA, she's in the room, but they got her in the corner. Because if you come to this event, and some people said Caitlin Clark didn't go to the Stud Buzz or didn't walk the red carpet because she didn't want to deal with that. She didn't want her brand to be put in the corner. Because if not, you got to go over there with the main stage. And the main stage is, how we getting down. That's
Tasha Howard. Who do you think the man of the house is in Stephanie White's relationship with ESPN's Lisa Salters? Half the league's off-court relationships run on the same pattern. The woman is the man in the pair. They dress like it, they move like it, they police language like it. That off-court male identity is the mirror they are fighting to keep polished. So when that culture says trans, they are not daydreaming about Leah Thomas taking the last scholarship. They are protecting the woman and the women who already live as men. They want the world to affirm her male presentation. They want no parts of competing against the man who wants to become a woman. Those are opposite projects. One is internal solidarity. The other is a biological trespass on the category that pays their bills. That is why the shirt always shows up and the testosterone data never does. That is why Protect Women's Sports gets mocked as stupidity on their podcast, while Trans Kids Belong gets a standing ovation. They are not confused. You are. The press is. The league office is happy to let you stay confused because confusion is good branding and bad categories make good activism.
Yo, he wrote this one. I know that some people don't like Jason Whitlock, and I know some people don't like me, and I know some people don't like everybody. So I don't play that game. Like, I give everybody a new clean slate, and then they sometimes just follow their patterns. Jason is like, he's unveiling what's really at the core of this, because we all see the hit. I don't care where you are with things. Just disconnect from where you are to where this is. And where this is, because of the hypocrisy, because of the contradictions, because of the pretzel logic we keep saying, y'all tripping on Enos, and he trying to protect y'all. Why? Because, as he said, we are confused. They not. They fighting a different battle. They just ain't announcing it.
Common sense is simple. A league full of women who identify as male in the relationship will defend transgender men. Women living as men, like family. They will not defend males in the female lane the same way. Watch what they celebrate. Watch what they wear. Watch who they call pops. The WNBA is not leading a science debate. It is protecting its own mirror.
Yeah, everybody always talking about journalism. That was some journalism. God dang. You do your job so well, I ain't got nothing to say, but wow. And I got something to say always, but wow. That was insane. I know, look, I'm just going to keep it that wow. I wish my daughter was WNBA worthy. But then when they got to that place, I also will be leery of like, baby, protect yourself. Be careful up there now. You know, it ain't all good, you know? You want your son or daughter to go to that high school because they got a great academics, they got a great football team. But then you also say, look, be careful in the neighborhood. Be careful on the way to school. You know what you got to go through to get there. It's one of those. That's what this looked like from the outside, at least.
I did not cross over the baseline or sideline, and we're not allowed to touch any players, obviously, the fans. So I didn't break any rules. So for them to come out and throw me out of the game and literally, you know, they said his actions was equal to shooting a gun. I just cannot believe it. I don't know who is his PR person, but they're doing a terrible job. So we might be looking into a lawsuit for sure, because this is unacceptable. And this is not.
You hear that? Lawsuit.
What a sportsmanship look like. Natasha Kulat should be the one that's thrown out of the game or get fined. We wrote to commissioner and the task force. We are waiting for them to hear back, but this is just unacceptable. This is not what a sportsmanship look like. So we'll just wait to see what happens. I did not.
Wait to see what happens. So this is the public version of a demand letter, basically. He's basically saying, look, if y'all don't adjust, if y'all don't change your tune, if y'all don't apologize, y'all don't clarify, something coming your way. That's what, if you guys never received a demand letter, and look, when I was an itty bitty and growing up and in college, I never got one. Demand letters come when you got some money. You all of a sudden, somebody be like, yeah, I demand you. You know, you did me wrong, but you were broke before, so I ain't demanding nothing. But now you got some money, I'm demanding you give me some money, or else I'm going to tell the world. And that's where they are right now. He about to talk that talk. So we're going to find that letter, and we also going to hear him talk a little bit more on the whole conversation of, let's give him a little more on that convo right there. This is gangster. All right, here we go. Keep going, Enos. You putting pressure on him. You know it.
The WNBA told you or got in contact with you, they were reporting that sources were telling them that, in fact, you are not going to be eligible for the draft next year. Have you heard anything official?
No, please do not believe those news, because they're all fake news. The NBA commissioner or the task force or the WNBA itself did not contact with us, or we didn't hear anything official. Listen, I'm a peacemaker. I'm not a troublemaker, and I'm a very easy person to deal with. If they ever have, some kind of issue, please come and talk to me. And listen, we're not asking anything difficult. All we're asking is Article 13, right? Section 1 says if you identify as a woman, you're allowed to play. So If tomorrow they can come up and add the word biological next to the female, I will drop everything immediately. But till then, I am allowed to play. I should be playing, and I will be getting ready for the 2027 WNBA draft.
Did you hear that? This is when there's so much ego in the room, especially from the WNBA, because they've made this problem. They could have easily just came out and said, okay, let's just clarify, redefine. Let's just get this out the way. But instead, they trying to act like they so inclusive, and they know they ain't. They just don't want to be punked. They don't want to be exposed into forcing them to do it. You ever been there when you know the other person you're arguing, then bam, you're like, yo, they right. I know they right. But I ain't going to say nothing. I ain't going to let them know they right. I'm going to keep arguing. And then later, I'm going to go quietly and think about it, then come back and be like, you know what? My bad. Or more importantly, most people don't even say my bad or I'm sorry. They come back and they just act different. They do exactly what they were arguing against. That person was telling you, man, you need to just pay attention more when you driving, dog. You need to pay attention more. Man, what do you mean? We ain't got no accident. We ain't getting no accident. We ain't never been no accident. I ain't never got pulled over. You saying all this stuff. Then you go back. Then you know what you do? Next time you're in the car with them, you ain't even apologizing. You just riding. You paying more attention. We all got that ego, that stubbornness. We all got that. We all got that. Right? But that's where the WNBA is right now. They are so damn stubborn that they really gonna get sued, y'all. This ain't no joke. And I'm for him. I think it's a noble cause. He's doing my work. He's doing the work that I want someone to do so my daughter can have her opportunities. If daughters, I got 2 little ones left. Shoot, we done found the coach. We found the coach. Now, I don't know if I got the players, but I got some 99 percentiles. I got a big girl. So it's just like, come on, y'all. What we doing? Is this it? Let's see. Yep. Okay, let's read it. Let's read this letter. Let's get smart. Enes Kanter Freedom has sent a letter to WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert requesting answers to 5 questions after his ejection from the Fever Sky game and ban from the arena. Identify the policy, the rule, directive, or instruction relied upon in treating certain spectators, including me, differently when we express a viewpoint that appears unpopular with the WNBA. You better not answer that one. That is a setup. That is a landmine. You will get sued quicker. 2, identify whether the decision to eject me was made or requested by WNBA personnel, Chicago Sky personnel, Wintrust Arena personnel, security personnel, or another individual or entity. You better not answer that, WNBA, or y'all gonna get sued fast as hell. Confirm whether Mrs. Cloud's conduct has been or will be reviewed under any league policy governing player interactions with fans, including rules governing altercations that require player suspension, and state what accountability, if any, she, her team, and management will face. You can answer that one. But I know y'all ain't did nothing. Y'all better call her in this morning, say, hey, we talked to you, didn't we? Yeah, I'm right here. Good, bye. And then answer that one. Number 4, provide a full refund of the cost of my courtside tickets. You can answer that one. You ain't got to give me the money back. I don't think so. Preserve all materials relating to this incident, including relevant video footage, incident or security reports, communications concerning my attendance or removal, communications referring to my WNBA draft announcement or public advocacy for women's sports, and any applicable policies or event day directives. He's given them 5 business days to respond. Why must I be like that? Why must I chase the cat? Nothing but the dog in me. Jesus. You talk about making your own problems. The WNBA can't get right. They just had a record-setting day, one of them Caitlin Clark games. I think it was Fever Sky. I don't know. One of them games set a record, 3.5 million people. God dang. Walking around with the NFL now. That's insane. But what y'all doing? Y'all over there instigating some dude by actually avoiding the real conversation, which you need to have, which you should have, and which will set and define what you're standing for. And get this, you will get a lawsuit out the way, you will get all this BS noise out the way, and you will realign yourself to what your initiatives are and let the fans, public know what you stand for. But instead, it sounds like y'all stand for some BS. Because y'all can't just say, yeah, we're from women, biological women. Stop playing. Whew, silliness. All right.